Friends, today's story is about a boy who kept loving the same girl his whole life, but he could never tell her his heart. And when one day a key comes into his hands that opens the doors of parallel universes, then he sets out on a journey to find his love, a journey that has no end. The movie starts with a song. A boy is saying what is in his heart through a romantic song, that from the day he met that girl, his heart forgot how to beat. He is not some smooth guy, but his love is true and it comes with a lifetime guarantee. And this is our hero Digsy, a simple, emotional, and a little defeated in love boy who loves his first love deeply. As soon as the song ends, his friend tells him that the girl he is talking about is not the only girl in the world. Digsy's heart is already broken. He says he feels like he ruined his whole life, but his friend gives him courage, says move on, understand, a new beginning. But the friend has to leave. She tells Digsy that he must come to the reception because Suzette's heart will break if Digsy does not come. Yes, friends, Suzette, the same girl whom Digsy has loved for years, today has married someone else. For Digsy, hearing this is like adding fuel to the fire. Just then, Digsy picks up his phone and calls Suzette. Voicemail comes. Digsy first says in anger that he is the same boy whose heart is broken today, then immediately says sorry. In another message, he says he asked her 3 times for prom. Then he makes a strange comparison. Suzette is the sun and he is a small cat. Then he realizes how strange it sounds. But in the end, he says the true thing. He just wants Suzette to be happy. And if she has found what she was looking for, then Digsy is also happy. Hearing this, the heart breaks, friends. From here, we understand how deep Digsy's pain is. He is spending the night alone with a life that is breaking apart. Just then he meets Mortimer, a strange but interesting man who has also been cheated in love. Mortimer tells his story. He had a girlfriend whose name was Candace, and Candace's special talent was sleeping with Mortimer's best friend Kenneth. Mortimer found out all this when one day at work he accidentally ate something like pepper spray and came running home to use the bathroom. And there he found Candace and Kenneth together. Friends, imagine Mortimer's condition. First a bad stomach, and on top of that, this sight. After that incident, one night Mortimer was completely broken. He was sitting on the footpath drinking cheap vodka, and his mind was not getting good thoughts. Just then a mystery woman stopped, in a printed dress and combat boots. She gave Mortimer a key and said it's not necessary to keep it, you can give it to someone else too, but it seems you need it. She said best of luck and left. And now Mortimer gave that same key to Digsy. Along with the key, there is a note on which it is written that this key opens the doors of parallel universes. Once you go through the door and close it, then there is no way to go back. Digsy laughs. He feels it is a joke. He keeps the key. Then the scene shifts. Digsy is at an event. A girl has come back from the bathroom line and brought a snack for him. She says Digsy was about to tell something important. Digsy says he is writing a book, a romantic story about a boy who loves a girl. The girl is excited. She says he has been talking about a book since middle school, and now he is finally doing it. Just then, someone comes for an arm wrestling challenge and tells both of them to move aside. The girl tells Digsy, you are my favorite +1. But Digsy's mind is somewhere else. He is thinking about Suzette. The next morning, there is a knock at the door. Standing in front is Daphne, Digsy's sister, the closest to him. Daphne is angry because Digsy did not pick up the phone the whole night. Digsy says the phone was in the fridge. Daphne says Suzette was disappointed that he did not come to the reception. Just then, Daphne's eyes fall on the notes. Another Suzette? Parallel universes? Leave Daphne? Daphne asks, what is this? Digsy explains, this key can open any door and take you to a parallel universe. Daphne does not believe at all. She says some stranger danger came, gave a magical key, and you believed it? But Digsy says he has to do something. What if there are other Suzettes? Daphne thinks and says, okay, let's try it. If it doesn't work, then we will laugh, and she will introduce Digsy to Roundbutt Amy. Digsy packs a bag. Daphne jokes about a whip. Digsy puts the key in, opens the door. Nothing happens. Daphne says I will call Amy, but Digsy says maybe this is how it works. He tells Daphne to come with him. Daphne jokingly says, you go first. Have a great trip. Love you. Bye. Digsy goes through the door. And friends, from here the game changes. Daphne disappears. Digsy calls back for her, but on the other side of the door there is someone else who says it is the wrong address. Bugger off. Digsy has truly come into a parallel universe. Digsy, confused, reaches a place where he meets Suzette, but this is not that Suzette. This Suzette is angry that Digsy missed her child's first birthday party. She had arranged a bounce house, there were 2 balloon guys, there was fancy Mexican ice cream, and Digsy was not there. She calls him a baby and drives him away. As soon as he comes out, he meets another friend who tells how Digsy took the kids to the beach and how cute Scout was. Then Penelope comes and hugs him. In this universe, Digsy's wife. There are kids, there is a family, But this is not Digsy's universe. Penelope notices that the outfit is different. There is no cologne, and the wedding ring is missing. She asks if he is cheating. Digsy runs away without answering. Now Digsy uses the key and explores more universes. In one, he meets Suzette, who is totally unstable. She talks way too much, tells that after Digsy left, she ate a lot, and then stopped. She has a friend, Lisa, whose dog is Hiccup. And the most shocking, in this universe, Digsy had put a restraining order against her. But still, Suzette wants him to come and meet her cat, Mr. Fuzzyface, who is 5 years old. Digsy makes an excuse about the bathroom and runs away using the key. In another universe, Suzette is found in Reykjavik, but she does not recognize him. In one, she is on the beach where someone is calling him daddy. In one, she is on a date. Every door is a new world. Every Suzette is different. Some know him, some don't. Some love him, some are angry. But none of them is that Suzette whom Digsy is searching for. Just then, Digsy reaches a coffee shop. A girl asks him for his usual order like she knows him. When Digsy gets confused, she understands something is wrong. And just then the shop door opens and another Digsy comes inside. The real Digsy of this universe. Both together. The girl asks, is he a twin, clone, alien? Digsy says no. The girl tells her name, Gwyneith. She says her shift is about to end, and she wants Digsy to explain everything. Gwyneith talks straight to Digsy. If he finds Suzette, then what? Is that the grand prize? This is such an unbelievable opportunity, and he will waste it on a girl he does not even know. Every Suzette can be a complete Bobby Lobber, meaning crazy. Then Gwyneith tells about herself. She has lived in Russia. She hates the name Gwen. She loves animals but does not keep pets. She has an 18-year-old bourbon that she saved for a special occasion. She takes Digsy to her home. There, strip karaoke, Scrabble, bourbon, full night fun. Friends, for the first time, Digsy feels that he can be happy even without Suzette. The next day, Gwyneith asks what happened last night. Digsy says a tongue was definitely in his mouth. Both laugh. Then they watch a movie, and here comes an amazing twist. In this universe, in The Matrix, Neo's role was done by Will Smith. Digsy is in shock. Gwyneith says she has seen it 10 times. It is definitely Will Smith. Digsy says in his world it was Keanu Reeves. Gwyneith asks Bill and Ted's Ted. Friends, in every universe, everything is a little different. Gwyneith asks, tell Suzette's story. Digsy says Daphne and Suzette were best friends since childhood. In every sleepover he felt today Suzette will kiss him, but it never happened. Gwyneith says maybe you should have kissed yourself. Just then Digsy uses the key and reaches one more universe. Here he meets Daphne, but for this world Digsy is dead. Daphne says in shock, but you were dead. Digsy explains, he came from a parallel universe. He has a key that takes him from universe to universe. At every decision it splits. 2 people, 2 worlds. Infinite possibilities. Daphne understands and asks, all this for Suzette? Digsy says yes, but Daphne says the Suzette of this universe is not useful for him. A complete. In the morning, Daphne asks, what do you mean you are leaving, Digsy? Digsy says the more he stays, the harder it will be. Daphne says there is no need to leave. There is no other Digsy here. I have friends who will like you. But for Digsy, this is not his world. He starts to go. Daphne stops him crying. Don't go, please. But Digsy opens the door. And friends, Daphne goes through behind him. The door closes. The way back ends. Both in a new world, but Daphne can never go back to her world. After realizing this, both become emotional. Daphne takes a shower at a stranger's house and puts on clothes. Digsy asks how the key works. Magic words? Digsy says no, you just open doors. Just then they meet Penelope. In this universe, Daphne's college roommate, who hugs her very lovingly. It turns out Daphne and Penelope had a deep relationship, experimenting in college. Penelope asks how Suzette is, meaning here Digsy and Suzette are together. So Suzette is already taken. No benefit for Digsy. Daphne says, get out of here. Take out the key. On the way, Daphne asks why Suzette. Digsy tells a beautiful memory. In childhood hide and seek, Suzette held his hand, took him behind the bushes. Both were laughing. She tucked her hair behind her ears and smiled. That was the moment. Digsy says his life is full of close moments like this. But in the end, Suzette married someone else. Now there is one more chance. Daphne says this is not stupid. It is sweet. Then she shyly says she is thinking about the softness of Penelope's tongue. It was soft. Digsy gets confused. Both laugh. Now both reach a party. Daphne, drunk, tells everyone about Digsy's key and the whole adventure. 2 boys, Franklin and Kyle, want to see the key. Digsy says no, but one boy snatches the key and puts it in the door. The first time, nothing happens. The back of the building is visible. Try again. Still nothing. Third time, that boy goes through the door and disappears. His friend asks, "You will bring him back, right? I have his car keys." Diggsy and Daphne are in a new place. A bartender offers them drinks. She recognizes Daphne. This is Suzette Larking. She knows her from high school. She also had a little crush on Diggsy. Says, "You look sexy." Both become awkward. Suzette Larking brings shots. Daphne says you were being flirty with her. Diggsy says, "And you, did your words disappear or what?" The three of them spend time together. Suzette Larking says her last boyfriend was a total waste of oxygen. Daphne jokes that Diggsy has loved only one girl since diapers. Suzette Larking asks what her name is. Diggsy says, "Suvi." At night, Suzette Larking takes all three to her house. And friends, here the twist comes. Daphne tells Diggsy that she kissed Suzette Larking. She feels guilty but says she has never felt such a connection. Chemistry, magic, love, math, all in one ball. She says if anyone can understand how love can suddenly bite and get its teeth in, it is Diggsy. Suzette Larking says Daphne told her everything. If you are nomads, then you can stay here for some time. Daphne and Diggsy agree and spend a few days there. But then that moment comes when Diggsy has to move forward. His quest is not finished yet. Daphne says crying that she will miss him a lot. She asks if he is sure. Diggsy says yes. Daphne tells Suzette Larking to take care of him. Then brother and sister hug each other. Daphne says crying, "I love you, Daphne." And Diggsy says, "I love you too." This separation is very painful, friends. Daphne left her whole universe to come with Diggsy, and now she is starting her new life here, while Diggsy is moving forward alone. Now Diggsy reaches a hospital. Here Suzette is there, sick, on the bed. The cardiac monitor is beeping. She says many years have passed. Finally you came. Diggsy says he came from a parallel universe, on a quest, searching his whole life for a Suzette who is interested in him. But the sick Suzette says a deep thing. The girl you are searching for, she is not real. What if I am the perfect version? But she will not stay for many days. She says, understand what the truly important thing is, and gives a hint, it is not me. Just make one promise. Don't become a tourist. These lines go into Diggsy's heart like an arrow. Don't become a tourist. Stay in one place. Live life. Don't keep wandering. Diggsy, while thinking, bumps into a girl while walking. After saying sorry, that girl sees Diggsy staring at her. She asks, "Do I know you?" Diggsy says, "You remind me of someone." The girl says, "Really? Tell me. It will be a long story." She says she is a long story listening specialist. She tells her name, Gwyneith. Yes, friends, the same Gwyneith, but from a new universe. Diggsy shows her the key. He opens a door and says, "This is a bedroom, but actually it is not. If you go inside, then you cannot come back." Gwyneith says she has an 18-year-old bourbon. This is special, right? Then she says this is even better this time. Diggsy is shocked. This time? Gwyneith says some people are just the same in every universe. The first time when they drank bourbon together, they made a tower of snack cakes. Gwyneith laughs and says sounds about right. Now Diggsy starts settling down. He is looking for a job. Gwyneith says work at the coffee shop. There he meets Kyril, Gwyneith's ex who always broods. Diggsy thinks about the key. Maybe he will give it to someone. Gwyneith says we can use it too. Diggsy says not now. This feels good. He starts writing his journey book on a typewriter. Gwyneith asks, will I be in it? Diggsy jokingly says it will be hard. But of course. Just then Kyril talks about kittens and Diggsy says his name wrong. And friends, just then Suzette comes into the coffee shop. This universe's Suzette. She sees Diggsy and says you look good. She says she thought a lot about what she would say. She even wrote a speech. But her eyes go there. Diggsy's birthmark is missing. She understands this is not that same Diggsy. She says, come, let's go for drinks. At night, both meet. Suzette asks, you left everything for me? Diggsy says, technically not for you, but yes. Suzette asks, what about the wife? Diggsy says he is not married. Suzette understands. This universe's Diggsy is married. She says you are exactly like him. Then they share old memories. The hide-and-seek moment, the 25th birthday. Diggsy says the hide-and-seek memory is his favorite. At night, Gwyneith asks how the night was. Diggsy says it was good. Gwyneith is reading an article about robots. Most robots do not have lips. Then she says she has something special for Diggsy. But just then there is a knock at the door. Suzette has come. Alone, she tells that in this universe, Diggsy and she were engaged. She broke the relationship, and since then she has regret. She says, what if I am the same girl you were searching for your whole life? And Suzette kisses Diggsy. At that moment, Gwyneith comes inside. She sees it. She asks, is this Suzette? Were you with her tonight? Diggsy tries to explain. Gwyneith breaks down. She says, you have always loved Suzette. I will not spend my whole life in second place. I am me. I cannot take her place. Diggsy says he does not want you to become Suzette, but Gwyneith angrily calls Suzette needy. Suzette says you do not know me. And friends, just then, Gwyneith takes the key and goes through the door. The door closes. She is gone forever. Suzette keeps crying and saying sorry again and again. She did not understand how the key works. Diggsy's heart breaks. Now Diggsy is completely alone. No Daphne, no Gwyneith. He goes into a bookshop. Someone asks, did you find what you needed? Diggsy says yes, sort of. He asks where is the snack place. He is told there is a quirky cafe, the Werewolf Scone Society, where there is lavender blueberry honey that is even better than kittens. Diggsy laughs and says he does not put kittens on pastries, but thanks. And friends, here the film's last song plays. The lyrics say, I stayed awake all night. Friends came and went. We stayed hoping for good things, but we did not even need good things. When you read my mind, you found everything I hid between the lines. We could have gone anywhere, but we left everything behind. So friends, this was the story of another version of you. A boy who ran after one girl his whole life, universe after universe. But in the end, he understood that maybe what he was searching for was never real. Every Suzette was different, every world was different, but some things were the same everywhere. Daphne's love, Gwyneith's warmth, and Diggsy's emptiness that no Suzette could fill. Sick Suzette was right. Don't become a tourist. Stop somewhere in life, accept a person, and live there. Diggsy opened so many doors, saw so many worlds, met so many Suzettes, but every time something was wrong. And what was right, Gwyneith, he lost her in front of his own eyes. Sometimes we spend life searching so much that we forget what we needed was right in front of us. We just did not recognize it. This movie teaches us that searching for the perfect person is useless because nobody is perfect. Love is found where you stop and give your heart to someone without any guarantee. So what do you think? Did Diggsy do right or wrong? If it was you, what would you do? Do tell in the comments. See you with the next movie.